All right. So hi everyone. Today's specific webinar. We plan to have a kind of let's call it an onboarding for Learning Partner Network. The idea here is to try to explain which are the tools that we have at your disposal when you start your learning partnership career at Odoo. And in order to do that, I intend to show you a lot of information around the partnership dashboard and also some info regarding the documentation. And of course, I will answer a few questions at the end if you have some. The idea is that this is a webinar, so it is live, but this video will be reused afterward, so that you can have a look at it later. And also for new people that couldn't attend the webinar, you will have a link to it after. So the idea of this webinar was because we started the learning partnership something like 1 year ago, and we realized that although good things have been done in terms of helping partners getting some knowledge about Odoo, we realized that we maybe didn't communicate that much at the beginning of our learning partnership career. So the idea was to give you at least an introduction video to help you understand which are the tools that you can have directly access directly once you start being a partner. So that's really what we want to do today. I will try to cover up as much as I can. It is possible that maybe you won't see everything, but in any case, if you feel like you have still other questions, just to let you know, you have a point of contact at Odoo, so don't hesitate to contact him after this video if you feel like you need a bit more. All right. So I will be switching and showing you my screen so that we can show that and discuss around it together. So the first thing that you need to know is that when you are on Odoo, when you access the odoo.com webpage, there is a place where you can sign in. And that's really, I will start with that because obviously most of the information will be available to you once you sign into Odoo. Here you can see that I signed in my account, and there are various things that I would like to show today, but we'll start with the partner dashboard. If I click on the partner dashboard here, I won't do it right now. I already opened it on this window. If you click on the partner dashboard, you will be able to see all the information you need at the beginning regarding your company. You can see here that's my info at Odoo. You can see your grade. You can see that here I'm a learning partner at Odoo. I can, if I wish, I can upgrade in order to become an official partner later. So most of the things here on the partner dashboard are interesting, but some of it are reserved to the full official partners that I wish you will become one day. Of course, that's the ultimate goal for us, to turn you into an official partner so that you have better knowledge, you have more and more leads, you can enjoy the benefits of having an account manager, you are able to prospect more, to get some help from your account manager. So really that's what we want to do. And but first, for lots of partners, they want to learn a lot, and that's a bit the goal of today, show you how you can do that. So the partnership dashboard, you have also some information about how much do we owe you in terms of commissions. If you remember, if you have access to the commission plan that is on the Become a Partner page, you see that once you are a learning partner, you have access to 10% of commission on the enterprise version, and that amount can be doubled regarding the Odoo Enterprise once you are official partner. So that's really what we are talking about. Then you have the opportunities, and you see that here, although you have a link that tells you to upgrade and that it is locked because it is reserved to the official partner, in fact, you can still create your own leads and opportunities. Here it's to show that you don't have access to it as you are not yet an official partner, but I will show in a few minutes how you can create your own leads so that we can work on that together. Here it's important to understand that we are not going to send you leads as a learning partner, that's for sure, but we are going to work together on some leads that you may bring to us, and so that you can have your first deal closed thanks to common work that we are doing. Then you have on the right a summary of all the sales that you have achieved over the last 12 months. And then you have two things that are really, really important, which is a product e-learning access. So here it's hidden, but usually you have a code here as well as the partner knowledge side. And those codes give you access to the platform that we call e-learning platform. I have access to it at the moment. If I go maybe here, I will restart here because I think that if I directly in the platform, you won't see it. But if you access it through training.odoo.com, you will see it's a redirection to another platform that we don't own at the moment, but we plan to change it so that it's embedded directly in Odoo. We'll talk more about that later. This platform that is on Thinkific, you will see that we have different courses. At the moment, if I wish to see all the courses, you see we have a functional course and we have the partnership knowledge base. And when you want to register to those courses, here I don't have to do it because I'm already connected. But once you register to those courses, it may be wise to show how it happens. Let me maybe restart that for a moment, and I will try to log in as a non-connected person. Yeah, that's it. And here you see that if I want to enroll to the Odoo functional lesson that we have here, it's telling me, oh, that's the cost, but as a partner you have a reduced cost, of course. What you can do is the code that you had just here, it is shown, of course. There's a code here. You can reuse it by saying here, I would like to take the one that is the yearly one, that is at price at 1,000 euro. And when you click on purchase, you will be able to fill in all your information. Use the same mail as the one that you used before inside your portal of Odoo, the email we communicate with. And then you create a new account with a password and a company name, and then you will be asked to provide a coupon code. So what is really important is that everything will work with a coupon, and that coupon code that you are going to use is what you have here for the e-learning partnership. And on the other side, for the other course, strictly reserved to partners that we call the partner knowledge base, that's right here. When you go on all courses, you have the second course, and you can enroll on that one as well. Again, you click on buy, and you don't have to buy anything, of course. You will use the code that we sent you, and that is available here on the partner knowledge. So those two codes are really important because that's one of us. It's maybe the first step that you will have to follow once you start being a learning partner. It is, of course, learn, and so you should have access to that platform to get started. Then you have the possibility to see in your company how many people are certified. This certification is available also on another platform. We will subscribe you once you receive the payment of the certification or the exam that you need to pass. It's priced at $250. And this will be shown on our partners page. Once you are an official partner, we will see and we will show and advertise that you are certified as a partner. So it's really important for us because it shows that you have been spending enough time on Odoo on all the applications. It could be related to accounting, it could be related to manufacturing, CRM. So on all the applications that we have, you will be able to show that you are certified as a functional expert on Odoo. Another information that is really important is the access to the documentation. So you have access here. You see the link down below on the left side. We will bring you to the documentation, and there you have a user documentation and a developer documentation. That's really important. I will go back to this just after I'm finished showing the page here. You have also a free trial extension code. That's for when you want to have a database that lasts a bit more than the 2 weeks, the initial 2 weeks that we offer. So that if you want to make it last a bit longer for your potential client to test it or to make some tests yourself, that's the code that you would use. Again, here it's hidden. You see the commission rate specific to Odoo SH. I will have a short introduction about Odoo SH in a minute. Knowing that here, that 10% amount is, and that's one of the key elements of the official partnership, that 10% amount turns into 100% once you are an official partner. It means, and that's really a good benefit for you, it means that once you have a client and you don't want to host him on site, but rather would like to go on Odoo SH, which is our own deployment platform at Odoo, you will get everything we invoice to the client in terms of Odoo SH, you will get it as a commission. So we are not earning any money on that once you are an official partner. Our goal here is to be able to assist you, give you the best tool in town for, I want to say, hosting your clients. So that's something really that we have to discuss after. I will show you that Odoo SH platform. I think that on the 14th, I've seen that on the 14th of May, there is a webinar on Odoo SH shown by Max. Definitely, I would advise you to have a look at it because it will explain how you can use Odoo SH as a partner, and you will be able also to discuss those commissions if you like. Then one of the other benefits when you are a partner, learning or official, is that you have access to the repo of GitHub for the Odoo Enterprise version. And you see that here, I have the two links here. One error that I've seen many times among partners that are starters on GitHub or on Odoo is putting here the email address of GitHub. It doesn't work, so you have to put your GitHub username. That's mine. And once you do that, you put it here. After a few hours or 1 day at maximum, you will be, Odoo will synchronize your information with GitHub, and so you will have access to our enterprise repo. And that enterprise repository that you have here, you see it's available because I'm connected with my user, but otherwise, what you may find if you are not connected would be that kind of page, of course, because you don't have access. It's a private repo, so you need to be, we need to give you the access, and that's because you would register that GitHub user. So if you struggle a bit, that's really the place where you should go for creating and adding your GitHub user. Otherwise, if you cannot access it, I would say send us a quick email and we will try to do our best there. And the same Odoo Enterprise can be downloaded as well, but this time not from GitHub sources, but from the download page. Well, you see that here you have, of course, Odoo Community on the left that is available for everyone, and then as a partner you have access to the Odoo Enterprise builds for all the different platforms that we support. Finally, you have also some services that we propose you in terms of help that we can provide for developers based in our branch in India, and from our success packs that you will find here on the more info, where you have the rates for the first success pack that you may request. And that's usually when you don't know if you need 25, 50 hours or 100 hours, you can be in touch with one of our business advisors and your point of contact at Odoo. And he will be able to guide you through and tell you if it's a small demand or if it's something that will request more over time, and in which case we would recommend a custom development pack. So then a few information about the marketing. You have the next event related to your region. I'm here in Belgium, so that's why I'm being proposed here some information about Antwerp and the Odoo experience. Then you have also the possibility to use our brand asset, and you have the logo that you can show next to your name or on your website if you wish. And yeah, some success stories, but it is only possible for our official partners to post their success stories. That is really important as well. If you want to promote your work inside the community and show that you have been achieving great results and have a really happy customer, we can have a few videos or a blog post about that customer being hosted on our website. That's really important in terms of visibility for you. But that's usually, you can see here, there's a little lock, so that's only for official partners. You have a few statistics about the leads that have been generated, and it's not a fake stat. So it's I know it's impressive, but we have really that amount of leads that are coming. But those are leads. So first we have a filter before we keep it for ourselves or we distribute it to our partners. So don't get the wrong idea of dividing this number by this number and thinking, okay, that's the amount of lead that we receive. Of course, there is a filtering on our side, and so that's not the amount of lead that you would receive. Especially here, we are in Belgium, so you have to select your country in order to get a better vision of that. And those are leads. What is important is that those are not opportunities. Opportunities for us, it's when it's qualified, we have a few more information, there is a real interest. So that's important to understand, that it gives you a general idea of the visibility of Odoo on the web and what we are doing in terms of redirection of those leads. To give you a rough idea, rough estimates, Odoo.com, the website, generates a bit more than 1 million views every month. So that's why we get so many leads. And really lots of visibility online. You have a few useful videos, and then our legal document. And I will finish with maybe what is the most important part of this page, which is the point of contact that you may have at Odoo. So once you are a learning partner, we assign you to someone that, if possible, speaks your language, so that you can discuss, get a bit of help, some feedback, some answers like, okay, I'm learning, what's the next step now? And that's the person you should get in touch with. In fact, there's only one person you should get in touch with. That's the person that is listed here. Here, that's someone from my team. It's called Maxime. And if once you are turning into a learning partner and you put your information here, you start being learning here. What we do is that we assign you someone. If usually that's a person you were in contact before you you turn into a learning partner. But some of you go for the learning partnership without consulting us, and so in which case this is assigned, I would say, a bit randomly based on the languages and the location. All right. So these people, so that person that is in touch with you, that's they usually handle something like 30 learning partners at the same time. And our job is twofold. Okay, we have to recruit new partners, and we have to help the learning partners that come into our world, the beautiful Odoo world, to help you learn. And that's really learning. That's the key here. That's really what on what I would like to insist on today. And so it brings me back to the next topic after the dashboard, which is how to get started and how to learn. I told you first that you have access to this platform. Once you are registered as a learning partner, you have access to this video platform where you have lots of videos, some quizzes, and you see that here, Odoo Functional, we have 118 videos, and I'm quite impressed, to tell you the truth. We had a few videos before on V9, V10, and V11, and since V12, we have a huge team working on that, and they have been creating around 120 new videos on the V12. So if you have access to this course, yeah, I should maybe resume it. You will see all the new videos are linked to the V12 video of Odoo. So the content is regularly updated. The studio in which I am at the moment that is used for recording those videos is busy every day for that. So really, thanks to our team, we have now new videos on the V12. And don't hesitate. Here it's a webinar, but and a video. But don't hesitate to dialogue with us and to help us improve that. If you have a few specific dedicated partner webinar or partner video you would like to see, really don't hesitate to communicate that to us, and we'll try to do our best. We'll request and we will make use of that feedback of yours. So first step I told you is to learn, and learning is having a look at the videos is a first good step, but usually it's not like passively having a look at those videos. The best would be for you to have a look at the videos and then also create a test instance of Odoo. If you connect on odoo.com, right here you see you have a try it free button. The thing I would advise you to do is to use that button and abuse it if needed for creating your own test instances at first, redoing the things that we show you inside the videos. And if you do that, try to connect here on your account first, so that when you try it free here, we can link it, and we can, on our side, we know that it is you that have been creating this database, and we can eventually extend it later if needed. So this is really a nice way to start learning, and it's free. You can install as many modules as you want. If I click on try it for free here, you see you have the direct link that is here, odoo.com/trial. I can choose a few apps, and there, when you create that first instance, you will see that you have 15 days free trial, no credit card required, so that's really good as well. Some of the websites would ask you to pay a bit or just $1 just so that they get your credit card information. We don't do that. And another point that is really important is that you can install as many applications that you want. And also something that I'm really struggling with is that when you go here and select website, you see one application selected website free forever with unlimited amount of users. And that's the thing that I've seen on many partners, learning partners information. I've seen many people coming to us and with no website. And like the first thing I'm thinking about is, and you should create first a website on Odoo. It's free, okay, so it won't cost you anything, and we can even link your DNS to your website, so that it's not your random website .odoo.com. It can really be your website.com that redirects to Odoo. So the first thing, if you don't have a website and you're watching this video and you are thinking of having one, just ask your consultant or your business advisor how to create one. It will be really easy. You will see how you can edit the content. Honestly, that's quite easy to do. All right. So that's about part of the of learning. If you want to go further than that, what we propose is that if you are finished with the videos, it is a first step. We organize also on-site trainings. So if you wish to have a specific person coming to your office for functional or technical training, we can do that. We arrange that, and usually for that we go through what we call success packs. And so those packs are the ones I was mentioning before here. So you go on more info, and on more info it will open here the page about the success pack. And usually for 1 week 1 week training, because we have 2 standard trainings for the functional and the technical side. For 1 week training, usually it's 50 hours, because we have 5 days of 8 hours each day, where you are going to cover the basic and advanced features of Odoo, and this is the amount for Western Europe. And usually there's a time travel included, but if it's you follow it here in Brussels, there's no time travel included. I shouldn't say time travel, but travel time. You have then some hours left after that for extra questions, support. So that's really important to understand those packs when we are talking about. It's those are consulting hours that are prepaid. And from there, you can use it the way you want it. So it could be for training on site, it could be for some development help and coaching, it could be for having a functional consultant following you for your first project. And it's not dedicated to only one project. It can be used for many different projects. So that's really something that is interesting for partners that wish to get started and go a bit faster, and not relying only on their own experience, but also get some help. And finally, once you feel ready about your learning status, then one of the good ways to test if you are really good and that you know well Odoo is getting certified. Why not? Once you follow the learning functional training, and you have a few interactions with us, and you have your first prospects, you have been working a bit on Odoo, getting certified is, I would say, also one of the next steps. Plus, it will be shown on the websites if you turn official partner. Another thing where you can get some information, it's a bit weird, but it's I think it's quite important to mention, is that on Twitter we have lots of info shared by Odoo, and there are a few accounts that you should follow. Maybe one of the most important ones is one of Fabien, our CEO. He's tweeting a lot, as you can see, on all different aspects of Odoo, on important webinars, on here he is working on a specific proof of concept, so technical stuff on GitHub. There is the new business game we are starting here. Here's another tweet about our presence in Geneva with one of our partners. So there's lots of information here that is available to you. There's Fabien. I can mention a few other ones, like there's also Fabrice, located the director of the US, that is tweeting a lot. You have the Odoo regular account. I'm thinking of Damien Bouvy, of Martin Trigot also, of Laura. So we have lots of people here that have valuable information about Odoo. And if you want to get in the Odoo world, I think that getting in touch with those people and following what they are doing and what they are tweeting is a good way to get not to get started, but to continue receiving constant information and news and updates about Odoo. All right. Another thing that I think I should mention and discuss with you is the notion of opportunity and leads at Odoo. Let's say you start your learning partner because you have heard of Odoo and you would like to know what it is. So you take the learning partnership because it's a good value. You get trained. You have a few information on our side. You have a contact person at Odoo, and then you have your first lead. You generated it yourself. You had a few meetings with some clients, and one of them is really interested and would like to discuss with you about the opportunity of using Odoo for themselves. Then the first thing that you should do is contact us. Contact the person that you have here at the bottom of the page. That is your point of contact at Odoo. Contact that person, and we are going to work on this together. There are several reasons for which you should be doing that. One of these is there is a risk of not reporting it, in the sense that usually when people want to choose a new ERP software, they don't visit only one person, they visit several ones. Maybe some will be at our competitors, but maybe also some of the other people that are questioning and visiting are other Odoo partners. So for us, it's important to know who is the person that brought the lead and that had that conversation. I'm not saying that you will be the only one of Odoo working there if the client wish to have a panel of experts in front of him and not only one Odoo representative. But I'm saying that in any case, we will try to do our best to win that lead for you. That's our job. That's how we are dedicated, and we really wish to have you sharing that information with us. And if you don't wish to share the name of the person, it's all right. What is most important to us is knowing what they want to do with Odoo. In order for us to prepare the best demo with you, in order for us to give you a few information to request to that client or that prospect, it's really important for us to discuss with you, to know, to qualify that lead. The notion of qualification for us is really, really important because it will allow us to understand the industry in which that person is working, in order to discuss the applications that they wish to use, the amount of users that they have, because maybe they will really be happy about the price, maybe not. It will trigger some discussions, and sharing that information with us will make you earn an infinite amount of time, because we have obviously more knowledge than you in terms of Odoo, about pricing, about the functional aspects, about technical aspects, and that's really why you should be in touch with us for that. One of the ways is, of course, having a quick call with your point of contact here. Another way that is also possible is that when you are connected here, you see that we have been exploring the partner dashboard at the moment, which is a page I've been spending most of this video on. But there is another place where you can go for finding some information about your account and register some of your opportunities. If I click here, you see that here I have my account information, so my name and address, and here I have all the documents that are related to Odoo. And you will be impressed here about the massive amount of invoices, tasks, and things like that. That's only because I'm a Odoo user and an employee of Odoo that I have so many quotes, sale orders, and invoices. Of course, you can realize that I didn't invoice that all by myself, otherwise I wouldn't be working anymore. But it's because I have access to Odoo as a whole, and the access right I have on this portal are the same that what I have in the backend. So that's why I see so many. On your side, you shouldn't be seeing that many invoices, purchase orders, and sale orders. But you should have more opportunities. Look at that. I have 0. You should have some. So let's click there, because that's where you should go to create your new opportunity, where here, when you click there, you have access to a create new button. And if you click on create new, Odoo will propose you to create a new opportunity, and there the person that is assigned to you will receive the opportunity, and we can start working on that, ask you more information. Well, it will trigger definitely a discussion. So don't hesitate to go there, and if you wish to keep the name secret, that's all right. We can go further, we can have a few calls with you, we can have even a demo, spend some time investigating one or the other issue or the concern that you may have before we get the contact name of or the name of the company you want to work with. All right, let's go back to the partner dashboard for a moment. Another thing of which I was thinking of is the fact that sometimes people ask us, hey, how can I create a new database here? I don't see a link for that. Well, there's one link that you have here, which is trade free, but then it will be hosted on our SaaS environment. SaaS environment means it's a public SaaS. Not public in the sense that everyone can connect to it, but in the sense that the modules that we will have access to is a limited amount of modules, because we share the servers among different companies. So if you click on try it free, I think I clicked it before, yeah, it brings you to this screen. You will be able to select a few applications, and then it will create a database for you. And that database that will be created, let me click on my own databases here, but I think it's not a good example because I'm not linked to that many databases here. I should maybe connect with one other of my users on Odoo. It would be a better match, I think. Okay. And I will be able to have access to my other databases that I use for testing purposes. You see here it's not the same name, and if I go to my databases, there I see several databases I'm working on at the moment. Like here I have two test databases, like one here is in French, here for the US, with fake information inside. And on those databases here, you have different possibilities of duplication, renaming, taking a backup, and those are things that I would like to cover also today, because in your tests sometimes you maybe wish to explore two different aspects of Odoo, and you will be like, maybe I need to duplicate this database because I would like to test one way for one specific module and share it with my client, and on the other side I would like to keep other things secret because I want to test and not bother him with my test at the moment. Then you can duplicate an environment and choose another name for it. You can eventually rename, but that's just like cosmetic. And the notion of backup is also interesting because it allows you to take the backup and go on site or go on Odoo SH. I will tell you a bit more about that. You can change the domain. That's what I was explaining with the free website offer. So once you click on a domain here, you will be able to access the documentation on how to configure your DNS so that you can have your nice domain name linked to Odoo. And going back to the notion of hosting, you see that here at the moment I'm on our public SaaS, but there are different ways of hosting Odoo. And what is important in that is that there's no difference in terms of cost, I would say, between the fact that you would be on site for on your client premises, or that you rent your own server on your side, or the Odoo, or the fact that you would be using the SaaS platform of Odoo. On our side, we have licenses that you may have a look at on odoo.com/pricing. Of course, there's a difference here, but I'm always talking in terms of Western European prices. Once you go here, you will see that at the bottom, you have choose your hosting type, and you will see that if you choose on-premise or cloud hosting, it doesn't change a thing. So we consider that the fact that we propose the hosting is for free at Odoo. The only difference that you may have is that with dedicated cloud, when we put a server in your hands, there will be maybe an additional cost. But again, you can recover as a partner part of that cost if you are an official partner later. So that's important as well. And there, the cost will depend on the amount of workers and storage that you will use in the staging environments as well. And usually those things depend on the size of the database that you need and the amount of users that are going to use it. And if you need some guidance there to help you with those numbers, don't hesitate to drop us an email as well, to your point of contact, and usually that's the kind of thing that we try to find out with you what would be the desired dedicated cloud that you should use. And so when you go on the backup page, I was just here, when you click on backup here, you can change your plan. So it means that you can start on the free trial on Odoo, thinking, okay, I want to make a few tests. No, I'm happy with what I've been doing on my production environment on Odoo. I would like to backup it and to go on a different hosting type, on-premise or dedicated cloud. If you go on-premise or dedicated cloud, just drop us an email so that we can arrange that, so that there's no two times the same database dialoguing with our Odoo main servers, and we will arrange that with you so that you can switch and go on a different hosting type. One of the main reasons people will change that hosting is that the cloud hosting is very, very good in terms of price and in terms of standard features. But once we want to use a specific application on our apps platform, maybe you don't know it, but it's apps.odoo.com. If you feel like you would like to have access to one of those specific extra modules, like connecting Shopify with Odoo, this kind of module cannot be installed on our SaaS environment on cloud hosting, but it can on-premise and dedicated cloud. There you can install many other different apps. Of course, always do your job, test it, or ask us for some help. And there, doing that, you'll be able on those hosting types to install these extra modules. This means that you can start small. By the way, you can choose to go on a cloud hosting, so that we have access to the server, we can help you, we have access to the database, we really can work on that together. And then later on, once you have a go from your client, you can switch to on-premise or dedicated cloud. Okay, so let's go back to the notion of learning and documentation. Here's a few more information. I told you that when you go on the partnership web page, you have a FAQ and documentation here. Lots of people think like, okay, it's not useful, but I'm telling you, most of the interactions I have, I'm always using those pages in my background because I read it first, or because I have some knowledge, or because I want to redirect people to those pages. Where you have first here the developer documentation, and you have also here user documentation. We have a few links like for the installation and some other things like the white papers that we have, but most of the things, most useful things are located under user and developer. So under user, here you have some user doc about the accounting, the CRM, websites. You have things like, sometimes it's not easy to find, like one of the things that people ask a lot is how to configure the SMTP server. You will find this information under the Discuss application. So you see how to use email server to send and receive emails in Odoo. So sometimes it's not super obvious, but lots of information will be found here. And you see we have quite a few chapters, and it's updated regularly. It's updated. I wouldn't say every version, because not everything needs to be updated, but as soon as we have some information like there's something that is that needs to be updated, we do it. That's why you see we have different versions here of our documentation, so always check which version you are working on. And you see that we have already version 13 being prepared, so that's a good news. And yeah, that's more or less what I can say here. First thing is that if you feel blocked, don't hesitate, have a look at the documentation and at the videos on the platform. On the developer side, that's really important as well, because in the last discussions I had with some official and learning partners, a lot of people usually demand and ask us, is there an API with Odoo? Yes, there is, and there is documentation on how to connect to it, and that's right here inside the external API. And usually that's something that is easy to browse, because you have a few explanations on the left and the examples on the right, like in Python, in Ruby, in PHP, and Java. Even though here for this example there are lots of other languages that may be useful as long as there is a XML RPC library, and you have exercises on how to do it. And that is really, really great, because it allows us to centralize information on one page and already broadcasts lots of information to you. So one of the pages that people ask the most to us is really the external API and how to install Odoo. And I think that this is here, installing Odoo. So from sources or from the installers. And then there is the notion of deploying Odoo, and that's always the question I have every time is how many workers do I need, what's the sizing of my machine, and that's where you would find that information. All right, sizing of a machine, it's impossible for me to tell you what kind of server you should use without some basic information like the amount of users you have, how much you wish to use Odoo, how many hours per day the users will spend on the machine, where are the users distributed. So this documentation partially solves the thing, helping you get the worker number and the CPU right. But for some configuration, you may have to ask for the help of our experts for helping you. And it brings me to another interesting topic, is that here we were talking about the deployment of Odoo. But there's also the installation, because deployment is usually something that you do, I would say, not at the same time, but you have to think about it, but it's usually done after. If you follow this guide and you don't know how to install Odoo, I would say then it should be a trigger for you for realizing I shouldn't be doing it. We have plenty of tools at Odoo. Like I mentioned it, we have the SaaS environment and we have the PaaS environment under the form of Odoo SH. Like when we were here, when I mentioned the PaaS environment, that's what we have here, Odoo SH. We have tools for you to avoid having to install it on premises. We understand that sometimes it is sexy, that sometimes you want to charge people for that, but that's why we started thinking, okay, let's help our partner network, proposing them a top-notch server and deployment system, so that they don't have to go through the hassle of installing Odoo, creating the backups, configuring a server. We don't want you to lose time on that. You can, of course, and we propose you some documentation here on how to install, and even after how to maintain it. You see, like updating and Odoo installation, but it's not especially something that you should be doing. If you feel like you don't have the capacity, please refrain from doing that. Consult us and we will help you with the dedicated cloud, for which, by the way, you know that you will be receiving commissions. And so that's also important, the hosting type. We have been discovering the documentation now. And around the documentation and also around Odoo, there's always that notion of translation. So here, by default, the documentation is always in English, as well as our code and the comments that you will find in the code. But we have a service of, we want to bring to our users and also the developers many different ways to interact in different languages. And so that's why we also use the notion of translating Odoo through a platform. And I hope I'm still up to date regarding this, because I think we are still hosted on Transifex. Let me check that. Where on Transifex, which is an external platform, we are, yeah, that's correct. We are going to propose you to translate Odoo online directly. You see here, I'm already connected, so it may be different for you because you first have to create an account and ask to join the Odoo group. So you will see, you type Odoo in the search box, you will find us, you will ask to be in touch with us, and you will be able to access this specific project, all right, here in Transifex. And there you can see, if I want to translate the Odoo 12 documentation, which is really the page, which are the page that we have here, you can enter there, see the dashboard. Sorry, it's in French. Yeah, I'm not going to change that. It's quite small anyway. And you can start saying, okay, I'm a French speaker. Okay, I will select French, and let's translate. And from there, you can start translating part of the documentation. But that's for the documentation. But that's also how we translate Odoo. So if you wish to know and you want to invest some of the time thinking, okay, my translation is not perfect, I would like to dedicate a bit of time doing this, go on Transifex, and that's the place where you need to do it. And if you update it here, it will update for all the other, not Odoo installation, but for the next time you will download the sources of Odoo and you will create your server, your translation will be taken into account. So by doing this, by translating some information, let's say here in the accounting module, if you wish to translate one of the 398 things that are not translated, you go here, you can propose a translation for this term, for example. Once you validate, somebody will be reviewing it, and once it is reviewed, it will be pushed to our source code, and people will be benefit from this translation. You may feel like it's not your role to translate. I can understand that, but on our side, it's really hard with people that is mainly located in French and English-speaking countries to translate in every language, and we want to have people benefiting from this software with a correct translation. So it's a common job that is done by the community, and if you want to participate, you are free to do so. And we give you the tools to do it, and we will be reviewing it. All right, so that's transifex.com. There's no link for that, I think, in there in the partner dashboard, but I'm giving you the information, so that's where you should go. I'm reviewing my notes here because I just want to be sure I'm not missing anything regarding your learning partnership. Another thing that maybe we can discuss is the support that you may receive from our side. It is the when you go on odoo.com/help, so quite easy, right? You have access to our help desk team. Here you can submit a support ticket. Here, of course, Odoo recognizes that I'm connected with my name, my email, my Skype ID, and so I can select then the type of hosting I have. It will allow Odoo to get for which project you are working on at the moment. And what is really important here is that as a learning partner, you don't have access to this unless you have a Odoo Enterprise code. So if you need help and that you don't have yet a Odoo a contract, not the partnership contract, but a Odoo Enterprise contract, you may be restrained and you won't be able to access this page, or you will access it, but you won't be able to select here your Odoo Enterprise code, all right? So what you will be doing is, and what you need to be doing is then contact your point of contact here, and we'll see what we can do. So at the moment, the support is restricted to our users base, so to our clients. And as soon as you have a client, that's okay. We will be able to submit a ticket. But in the meantime, rather be in touch with your point of contact, and we'll see what we can do about that in order to help you. All right. Maybe another thing that you can have a look at is how to turn into an official partner. I'm not saying that it is a goal of everyone, but most of the people that start being Odoo Learning Partners have the idea of becoming an official partner later, because they realize that there will be more visibility. They will be on our website. Let me show you this here. They will be on our website. there will be it will be possible for them to share their references. It will be possible for them to show that they are certified, and so that has quite some importance, because you cannot imagine the amount of leads and visibility that is generated through those simple pages. So at the moment, one of the benefits of being an official partner is to be listed as a reseller on our website. And there is a link right from the Odoo homepage that directs you to this place for finding a local reseller. And when people visit the website and feel like, I prefer to work with a partner because it will be someone from my country that knows the specificities of it, that have the localization, that have some experience with the existing partners, with existing clients that maybe I know, then that's why this page is driving so many leads here. And people will have a look at various implementers. I will select one really here and check what they have been doing. I will be able to click on their references and see who they have been working with. I will see where they are good at, how they describe themselves, and I will be able to contact those people. And that is really bringing lots of visibility to you and revenues, as well as visit on your website. And that's only available, of course, for the official partners. Another thing that I should mention is that people can browse this based on the location. So if they feel like, okay, I need someone that is close to my place, just to let you know, I live in this area. So if I were a customer, I could go here and click directly and see who's the partner located near to my place. And you see here more or less spread in Belgium. And it may seem like, let me reopen this for you. It may seem like, okay, there are enough partners in Belgium. I see there are partners everywhere, but ask one of our partners in Belgium, they will all tell you there are lack of resources. They need more people, more employees working on Odoo, because there are projects coming in all the time. And that's the feedback we have from our partners. I'm talking here about an area I know well because I'm Belgian, but it's the same in France. It's the same in the neighboring countries, and lots of people realize that there is a huge demand for Odoo skills. So that's why we are trying here to give lots of information and make you learn on our system before you can turn into official partners. Something I didn't mention as well is that when you turn official, when you turn to a partner, not specifically official, but when you are a partner here, you are not the only one to have access to this dashboard. If you want to register somebody else from your company, just give us his name, email address, and first name, last name, and email address, and we will create it for you so that he has access to the exact same dashboard, and you will benefit from the same interactions with us, having access to the learning platform, having access to the documentation, be able to record opportunities if that's a salesperson, let's say. So all of that, you will have access to it. There's no limit in the number of people that you can register under your own company. The only thing is that you don't have directly an access here, a button to do it yourself. I was planning also, and that would have been the last thing for today, I was planning to show you the SH, but I will keep that for later, because I've seen that there is another specific webinar dedicated to that in 12 days from now, made by Max. If I'm mistaken, it's not the case. I think I will organize another one myself, but that's it at the moment. I think that's all I could show you. I'm sure I'm just forgetting things and missing maybe some of the important points that you may have. But if it's the case, just simply drop a small email to that person. Not him, but the person that is there in your own dashboard, okay? So that you will see the interaction you can have with us. And we are really eager to help. So don't hesitate to ping us and to ask us for some help. We'll do whatever we can. And I think that's it. So I will answer now a few questions if I see there are questions. And yeah, last comment is we realize that some of the learning partners don't exchange a lot of information with us. So really don't hesitate. If you have that's a moment, that's the time. So if you want to request some extra learning content, if you have questions, and we realize that everyone has the same question, we will do something about it. That's always how we have been working at Odoo, fixing bottlenecks. So that's definitely something that we can do for you. All right. Thanks, Mr. Alvaro Jose Arias, for your comment. Mohamed El Bagouri, why did we raise the number of licenses to be gold partner from 100 to 150? That's mainly because we had more gold than silvers on lots of areas, and that we realized that as Odoo is growing in terms of amount of partners, in terms of size of project, it started to be unreasonable to have that I won't say small, but that's amount that could be achieved quite easily. So that's why we wanted to change this to promote and show that gold partners shine more than ever before. So that's the most important step for us, and that's the reason why. How long are the average functional video? I think it should be 5 minutes. Let me check that. We can check together. So if I go on training.com, all right, I will have a look at a few. I'm sure there's a. Okay, this one is 11. This one is 10. That's maybe more around 10. Let me check it here. It's a quiz. It's not the same. Draft templates. Okay, 6 minutes. No, okay, so it's more like 6. Okay, 5, 5, 5, 7. Yeah, I would say between 5 and 12, based on what I can see here. Yeah, most of the time that's it. So you make the count and you can guess how much you have. Are the videos similar to the old technical videos you use on YouTube? No, I think that what you have here in terms of content is premium content, more reliable, better prepared, based around the examples. If you have a look at the t-shirt use case here, that's really something that is to me more important than the webinars. The webinars are an entry point, but here you have better content. What is really specific here also is the fact that, and I'm not talking about only this part, which is the Odoo functional course. You have lots of information in terms of partner that is super important. I will come back to this, which is related to the partner knowledge base. As a partner, I think that once you know well Odoo, the content of the course that you have here is really super important as well, because that's where you will find the extra things that you need to know as a partner to give you an information. Last time I made a video of something like 1.5 hour, so 1 hour. It was a webinar, but with lots of people, and it was a webinar about introducing how to import in Odoo, and although it was just an introduction, it lasted very long. I'm planning to organize some more, but it won't be shared in the sense that this is information that is strictly reserved to partners, because only people that manage projects and need to import information would need that kind of level of knowledge. So that's why this is premium content also reserved to partners. We have some guides on how to start your partnership, the different implementation services that we have, some marketing things, some event brochures, so what we do during the Odoo tours, some FAQ, and that's also part of the things that are updated regularly, and that for which you can request new content if you feel like there's things missing, and we receive that feedback several times. As I said, it will be updated. Okay. I see Julien already replied. Thanks, Julien. Janos Kozma, thanks for your thanks. And Joel Mbaoyone, what does Odoo mean? I'm really glad you asked that information, because no one knows, but I know. It's not to be to boast about that, but the thing is that it's a really old name, in the sense that before, maybe we were called Tiny ERP. I can type that, Tiny ERP, all right? And then we were called later Odoo, what I'm saying here, Open ERP, and then we were called Odoo. And the name of Odoo was the name of our SaaS platform before we were named Odoo, and the name means on-demand open object. So that's a bit weird. It seems barbaric, but it's on-demand because it was on the SaaS, and you just simply had to request it. And open object because the notion of object that you may use in Odoo, a sale order, an invoice, a record type, if you like, a model in Python. This notion of object was called open object because of the open source nature of Odoo. So it's on-demand open object, but nobody knows and nobody cares anymore, I would say. So that's why. And plus it sounds cool. And if you ask Fabien, our CEO, it would tell you that most of the successful companies have lots of O's in the name. like Google, or like he gave a few examples I don't remember of, but that's why Facebook. So he said, let's add an extra O and find a cool name, and that will be it. So it may seem like a strange explanation, but I can tell you it's the truth. So I think it's time for me to maybe stop the video here. As I said before, many times I think during the video, don't hesitate to come back to us. You have a point of contact at Odoo, use it. Abuse it, come back to us, ask for help, and you will see what we can do for you. And that's how you start, I would say, the learning partnership. And if you have any question about this video, you can comment on the YouTube video itself or enter in contact with your point of contact at Odoo. As a reminder, that's the person that you have at the bottom of your partnership dashboard page. That's it. So bye guys. See you next week or in 2 weeks.